But first, speaking of the Chiefs, they are getting ready to leave town, though, for Mexico City to play in Monday Night Football. But this stadium is several thousand feet higher than sea level, than Arrowhead. Meteorologist Alina Lee shows us the big difference the players will face when it comes to Monday night's game.
The Chiefs will take on the Chargers next Monday in Mexico City. And what most people may not know is how mountainous the terrain is just down south and how that can have a huge impact on the players and possibly the fans. So let me start off by explaining air pressure. What air pressure is, it is the pressure that the total weight of air molecules is pressing down on the earth by the force of gravity. The greatest air pressure pressing down on our bodies typically happens just below sea level. Now, the higher up you go in elevation, or above sea level, I should say, the lower the air pressure becomes, and that's because there are just fewer air molecules at that height. Now that we know how air pressure works, we need to look and compare elevations at different locations. So let's start off by looking at Kansas City. We sit at about 800 feet above sea level, so normal activities like walking and breathing seem pretty easy. And LA, where the Chargers play, they sit at just about 300 feet above sea level in its lowest parts, so even easier for them. Now let's go to a city, maybe Denver, for instance, at an elevation of around 5,280 feet, or roughly 1 mile. It may be a slight struggle for some just visiting that town, but some actually might know what it's like to go skiing out there in Aspen, or Keystone, in fact. The elevation can go over 7,000 feet, so even walking up a single flight of stairs can seem like a chore, which is basically what it would be like in Mexico City with an elevation of around 7,300 feet. Now imagine playing a 3-hour football game in air so thin that some find climbing a single set of stairs pretty difficult. That game is being held at Estadio Azteca, which is again at about 7,300 feet above sea level. For KCTV5, I'm Storm Track 5 meteorologist Alina Lee.
Very interesting take on the game.